Yo, what's up? It should be live right now. Yep, I am. What's up, everybody? I do have a Chiefs hat somewhere. That thumbnail, all of my live video thumbnails have the same picture, so they all have a Chiefs hat. And this is a Houston Rockets hat. I guess technically you could say it's a Texas hat, but yeah, there's an NBA live show just right after this one. It's at 4 p.m.
I can hear you.
Bulldogs are about to be put down today by the Dons, says someone in the comments.
Bulldogs. Gonzaga.
I got an LSU hat somewhere.
Kyle, you got my text, right, about the results thing?
Maybe. I don't know. It's been a crazy morning.
Yeah. Well, when you do, I texted you. You read it, so you definitely got it.
There's a difference between reading it and reading it.
That's true. He probably just put it up and was like, yeah, it's
4 minutes. Well, actually, it looks like we have more than 4 minutes.
Yeah. This is the last day of like small time teams. Like
tomorrow a little too, and then
a little bit tomorrow. You get some ACC Big 12 teams, but
the Oklahoma States of the world.
I have them winning tomorrow.
Guy says he's getting his prop Beaver signed basketball being delivered tomorrow.
Nice.
Just so you guys know.
I do not.
It's good to know.
I don't have that toast. Thank you.
Really cool.
If it does, I haven't set it up. I just use my finger.
I definitely don't.
Oh, mine's got one of those fingers too. I feel extremely fancy with those too.
So Giants, so Saquon to the Eagles.
I don't even know who that is.
You know who Saquon Barkley is?
It was a joke.
More interested in Josh Jacobs to the Packers. That came out of nowhere.
I'm more interested in none of it because
it's not football season.
I don't think I can have any less interest in off-season transactions.
Well, it's because you have no team to root for. So
I have a team.
No,
he's talking to Kyle.
Kyle was a Cowboys fan.
Kyle had the same team.
No, Kyle used to be a Cowboys fan.
It's just what good does that information do me right now?
No, you're right.
Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. Okay, what do we do? Talk about it?
It's still something to be interested about.
I think the only one that's interesting.
I'll be interested about it at the end of August when it's time to actually put money on it. I mean, is the Eagles win totals open yet?
Super Bowl,
that information does nothing for me.
From plus 2,000 to plus 1,700, actually.
NFL offseason is the only offseason where I'll look at something and it'll be like, oh, cool. Other than that, like, I'm not going to talk. Like, I have very little. The only thing that interested me today was Josh Jacobs to the Packers because I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm a fan, but also that came out of nowhere. Literally, I had no idea the Packers were even interested in a running back.
He's like the only running back I feel is good anymore.
We got rid of Calvin Ridley and got Calvin Ridley, but his name's Gabe Davis.
This is really exciting. Yo, we got games to bet tonight.
No one cares. Shut up.
No one cares about the basketball games tonight?
Yeah, no, people care about the basketball game. You can't say no one cares about the show we're about to do.
In a minute and 52 seconds, you can care.
No, there's a couple good ones. The first game pissed. The one that we're about. This one, the line just went fucking crazy. A couple of them, I think.
Yeah, I was surprised. I cannot believe that Santa Clara took money like that. St. Mary's took money like that, and that line moved 2 points. I bet it again at 11.5. I do not care.
You're on Santa Clara, right?
Yeah, I bet it twice now, 9.5 and 11.5.
St. Mary's playing for nothing.
I guess for a rematch for the Zags.
I thought didn't they already?
They're in.
Clinch?
They're going to be in the tournament.
Yeah,
well, no, didn't they clinch the 1 seed in the tournament though?
This is their conference.
The WCC conference tournament started. Oh,
yeah.
How are we this far into it?
Well,
Santa
yeah,
Clara
I was going to say
the
this.
semifinals
They do
already.
it weird. They like the top 4, the top teams like Gonzaga, St. Mary's. They don't play for like 3 rounds. So like the worst 2 teams play, and then they play, break it off. It's very
wait. But St. Mary's is playing tonight.
This is
Correct.
the semifinals already.
This is the semifinals already, and there's only been like 3 games.
I was going to say, Scoop, because you've been doing the games. Try to write if it's a final, what round it is. I had to go and dig it in myself. That's the only thing that I would change. Write down if it's a final, or if it's a semifinal, or if it's the first round. Because like I was going through and I had no idea what was what tonight. Luckily, a lot of these are all semifinal and finals tonight. So
that's what I don't get.
We added the one that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get. Someone in the comments said semifinals already. Like I don't even remember the other teams playing. Like
the
Pepperdine.
Those were the WCC tournament. Those games.
Yeah. I was.
I thought they were regular season.
No, they're meaningless.
No.
It's absolutely meaningless.
All right. Well, we are officially at 3:00, so let's get it started. We're starting with a real scorcher of a game. Towson on the road at Charleston. What conference is this?
Coastal Athletic.
Coastal?
CA.
The Coastal Athletic Conference.
You know me. I love me some Coastal.
Yeah, you're probably going to come out with a take like, no, this is a really good conference.
It is.
Would you lay 6 points with Charleston?
Yeah, I would still do it. I think the number's going a little crazy, but I'd still lean them. It started at 3.5. I think it started at maybe 4, and it's gotten all the way up to 6. Everybody's on Charleston. These teams played about 2 weeks ago in Towson. Charleston won that game by 16. Earlier in the year, they lost a game to Towson at home, so they've been a little back and forth. But it's the more recent game. They blew them out. I would still side them doing that. They blew out Monmouth yesterday. They're just playing really good basketball. Everybody's expected them to do this and run through this conference, so I expect them to continue it tonight.
You could see in the bottom left corner at 7 a.m. this morning, the consensus line on the 8 major books was 4.5, so definitely on the move. It actually looks like most books have it at 6.5 now. Someone was saying this opened up at 3.5, so yeah, this line is definitely moving towards Charleston without a doubt. Scoop?
I'm going to go with Charleston here, too, even though everyone else is. I thought Towson was going to lose yesterday, but their second half kept them in it. Towson had that win over Charleston already this season, but this is going to go the same as last year, I think. Charleston knocking them out of the tournament. Like Andy said, Charleston cruised against Monmouth. They're the number 1 seed for a reason. They're ranked number 1 in the conference, the CAA and KenPom. They're a great offense. They're averaging 81 points a game. They're just a well-balanced team. There isn't one specific, guy that stands out for them. They won't get the same defensive outing they just had against Monmouth. Towson can score a little more, but Towson's a defensive team. They're not going to put up a lot of points anyway. It didn't matter in both games. Towson played Charleston. They gave up 70+ both games, something they barely do all season. You did say it already. This line did open at 3.5, and now it's up to 6.5. But I will still take Charleston.
Couple people in the comments said they would take the points with Towson. I'm wondering if the market pushed it too high. I don't know if
I think that's the way that I would look at that. It's pushing it so high.
Well, you still said you would lean Charleston.
I would.
Toast?
Yeah. Gladly give me the points. Give me 6, 6.5, wherever it lands. I'm going to bet this right before the game starts to get as many points as possible. Charleston's been really good. They've been really good to me as well. Just to really point out the 3 times that they've tripped up. 1 against Towson, Obviously, they're playing them today. And then 2 games against UNC Wilmington, the team that Towson just beat. So do I think that this line is a little big? Yeah, because I was going to take Towson at 4. So the thing that stands out with me with this Towson team, they play defense. They're the number 1 defense in the country, the conference, as far as efficiency, effective field goal percentage. So unless Charleston is just absolutely hot from deep, I truly think that Towson's going to be in this game pretty much the whole time. Neither team shoot free throws really well, so I don't really worry about that. So as long as Towson's not absolutely turning the ball over on 30% of their possessions, I think they can stay in this game. They have a huge rebounding advantage as well. So yeah, I would gladly take the 6.5 or 7, whatever it ends up being with Towson.
I'm with you. I'm gonna take Towson plus 6 now.
Congrats to North Carolina for sports betting today.
Good luck. Bet placed. All right, I'm on Towson. I'm tailing toast on this one. Someone mentioned in the comments that Towson beat Charleston in Charleston earlier this year.
Yeah, they both beat each other at home this year.
Yeah, so now we're all the way up 6.5. I got a 6, but it was minus 105. So I got a minus 105 6 on Caesars if you're looking to place that now. Toast might have the strategy, though. He's going to wait till closer to tip, maybe get a 6.5. Our poll is definitely leaning towards Charleston. There we go. It's 60%, 33% in favor of Charleston. So community definitely leaning towards Charleston. Next. Cleveland on the road, or not on the road. I said that in the first one, too. We're talking about conference tournaments now. There's no more on the road. I'm just used to saying it. It's Cleveland, Oakland. When I made the graphics, this line was 5.5. It looks like there might be fives floating around now. Toast, I know you just cashed a nice bet on Cleveland State. It would they at plus 10.5 or whatever. That was last week.
Yeah.
Would you take it plus 5 here? I know you also like Oakland though.
Yeah, this was a really hard one for me, but I'm gonna let the pie charts talk for me. I'm gonna take Cleveland State plus all the points. Really don't love the spot for Oakland either. So Oakland has played, they just played Purdue Fort Wayne, who's a pretty good team. They played them at home, and now they got to fly, and they've had a couple days in between. It's not like it's overnight, but now they got to fly all the way over to Indianapolis and play this Cleveland State team that's been playing extremely good. I understand that 2 of their wins against IUPUI, but that win against Youngstown State was very impressive. They've got a much shorter travel situation. I just think that 5.5, it's just way too many here. So Oakland might win this game, but I'll gladly take the points with this Cleveland State team.
Question. So what would this line have been if Cleveland State didn't play Youngstown State, if that upset didn't happen? Like, do you think
probably
like 7.5?
7.5, yeah.
So that win dropped this down to 5.5 essentially?
Probably. And I think the travel spot, I think bookmakers understand that spot too.
Okay, let's bring up Andy. Do you have anything in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the tradition going with Oakland. I think they're just a far better offensive team, and it's not even close. But this is gonna be a slow-paced game, so I could see a close game. But I think we're just getting Cleveland State being on a run right now. It's kind of putting a little bit more value than maybe I would normally say they deserve. So I'll side with Oakland. It's tradition. So
it's tradition.
Tradition.
Weirdest tradition of all time.
It's funny because I said my first thing that I was gonna say is I know Andy says you can't go against tradition, but I'm gonna ride Cleveland State. Yeah, they're playing awesome offensively. They're shooting over 50% their last 3 games. They already knocked off the number 2 seed in Youngstown, and we'll see. I mean, we see this happen all the time. An underdog playing well in the tournament. Usually, I'll try to grab the points with an underdog in a tournament game if the team's semi-decent, and Cleveland State's actually doing great. They do great on the offensive side of the boards, creating a ton of second chances. Cleveland State's, great at taking the ball away right now. They're averaging 8+ steals their past 3, and Oakland isn't exactly taking care of the ball either. Cleveland State's going to need a performance like you saw, from a Chase Robinson to beat Oakland. Some people coming off the bench and doing great for the team. They already proved they can win against the top horizon defenses. Oakland is a bit worse than that, and leaves you for some open shots. I know Cleveland State hasn't been a good shooting team all year, but they're shooting right now, and that's what matters. So I'm going to take the points.
I guess I'll lean with Toasted Scoop with Cleveland State. I'm not going to bet this one though.
It's like betting between my 2 children. It's like my 2 favorite mid-major teams. It sucks.
You have a favorite one, so.
Toast just compared the Cleveland State Vikings to his own child.
And
that happened.
He compared the other one to Oakland, though, to be fair.
44%, 43%. 44%, 43% in favor of Oakland. So community pretty split down the middle here, slightly leaning towards Oakland. Next game. Arkansas State, James Madison.
I would say this is game of the night, probably.
Really? There's a couple of WCC games later.
Yeah, but this is a championship. I put that a little bit above it.
Okay, so it's Arkansas State playing. This is playing for a bid in the tournament. In the tournament here. Arkansas State catching 5.5. James Madison favored. Scoop, what would you ride with Toast Darlings?
I mean, James Madison's probably one of my favorite mid-major teams, but I'm going to take Arkansas State here. They're 10-2. They're past 12. They just knocked the number 1 seed off in the tournament in Appalachian State. The same Appalachian State that beat James Madison twice already. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. James Madison is a great basketball team. That's for sure. They actually might get a bid even if they lose. But Arkansas State may be even better on offense than them. If you look at Arkansas State's defensive numbers, they don't compare to James Madison. But the past 12, when they had their winning streak, their numbers in the top 150 for defensive efficiency. They're allowing fewer than 65 points in both tournament games. And they surrendered fewer than their 77-point average in 8 of their last 10. They played earlier in the season when James Madison only won by 4. This is going to be a tight one throughout, and that's mainly because of James Madison's ability to defend the perimeter. They're not good at that. Arkansas State can shoot. It's just hard to fade the Red Wolves right now. They're 9-1 against the spread. They're past 10. James Madison is 4-6 against the spread. They're past 10. All the pressure is going to be on them. So I'm going to take the points here.
I know I'll bring up Toast next, but you know he's going to be taking the points. He's cashed a lot of bets on Arkansas State.
Yeah, and Scoop actually kind of just said everything I wanted to touch on. The fact that these two teams are very close. James Madison lost to App State twice. That's the team that Arkansas State just played. I just the question that you have to ask yourself is, does the Arkansas State defense show up? Because that's the only thing that's a negative in that team. They've been playing, like Scoops alluded to, they've been playing much better the last couple of weeks. I have no issues thinking that they're going to be an all-out effort, and neither team shoots free throws really well. So in a close game and multiple possessions like this, I'll take my chances. So I sent it out last night at 7. It's at 5.5 now. So I take my chances.
Andy, 3 on Arkansas State?
Nope, I'm on James Madison. I think
that's where I think I'm going to be.
Yeah, everybody's on Arkansas State, and I get it. Look, they are on a run, but James Madison should do whatever they want on their defense. They are equals on offense. I will give them that. But
Arkansas State's better.
Slightly better. It is not that significant.
Couldn't help but notice the 30-3 record there. It's kind of hard to not see that. Team doesn't lose many basketball games.
Yeah, if you want to say they're equals or you want to say Arkansas State slightly better, whatever, their defense is awful. I mean, Arkansas State's defense is awful. I will take James Madison. A lot of people being on Arkansas State, making them a popular dog pick tonight, gives me the idea that James Madison's been waiting for this game all year. They know this is their number 1 route to the tournament. They don't have to worry. So they've been waiting for this. They're ready for this. This is James Madison's night.
They can win. They just won't cover.
Yeah, they can win. And what Sauce alluded to, I just wanted to point this out really quickly too. Sauce alluded to the James Madison winning streak. Fantastic. Good job. Strength of schedule 299 in the country. Arkansas State, the Red Wolves, number 165. They're just played a much harder.
Oh my
schedule.
God, 165. That's grueling.
One's playing a pile of shit, one's playing a little bit less of a pile of shit. Like
299.
Yeah, I mean, I could understand your guys' points if the line was 9, but 5.5.
Well, I got 7. I mean, it's a little bit different.
It did open at 7, and it going the other way is making me 100% think way too many people are on Arkansas State.
I don't know. It's definitely the square pick here, but I'm gonna put James Madison up for me. I'm not betting this. James Madison football team, man, they were just seriously like it was the same thing. They would win so many games, and they had such. I mean, I don't know how the basketball team's built, but their run defense was so fucking good.
I don't know. That's got to translate somehow.
I don't know what to say because I don't know the teams. I don't know anything about these programs. Let's go to the next one. East Tennessee against Samford. Let's see what we got here.
Championship.
This one's a final, yes.
9.5 points in the championship. I'm guessing East Tennessee was not expected to be here.
No, they were not. A little bit of a run here.
Scoop, you siding with the Cinderella?
Yeah, I am. East Tennessee just knocked off the number 2 and 3 seed in this tournament, and now played the big daddy of them all in Samford. Beating two tough teams in 2 nights is a lot. They also had that third game against VMI, but they did it in overtime against Chattanooga, and really, you thought that game was over in the second half. But something East Tennessee State does is they cause turnovers. They did that. They out-rebounded them. They were sinking their shots. Samford's a team that leads in steals in the conference. They create a bunch of points of those turnovers, and they also lead the conference in most offensive categories. But Tennessee can also play great defense. They force turnovers, like I said, all the time. They're pretty good on the glass. I don't think anyone would think it's crazy if Samford does blow them out, but they beat the Bulldogs twice this season, but one of those were all by 3 points. Asamoah has scored 20 plus the last 2 games. If East Tennessee has games like the last 2, this is going to be close all the way. I'm going to go with the points. I don't think this final is going to be a blowout at all. 9.5 is a lot for a final, so I'm going to take the points.
Toast, do you agree with that?
I do, actually. I agree with it a lot. I understand that Samford's been really good, but you guys know that I like to use that shot quality model. And the shot quality model says that they should have Samford won both the games that they played earlier, but the model says they should have lost both of those games. Samford's one of those teams that, again, has been really good, but they're 340th in the nation in shot selection. So I'll take the team with defense and on a nice little run. It's 10.5 now, so I took the 10.5 with ETSU.
It's at 10.5 now? Yeah. Well, actually, it looks like it was the 10.5. Now I'm seeing 9. Let's check now, see where it's at now. East Tennessee. Here we go. I'm seeing 9.5s now. So, yeah, I think those 10.5s might be. Oh, no, 10.5 on ESPN bet. It's juice, though. It's minus 120.
What's your FanDuel say?
FanDuel 10.5, minus 115 on FanDuel. So you can still get 10.5 on FanDuel.
Cool.
Andy?
Yeah, I'm noticing I'm on 4 favorites so far. That's going to change, but I am on Samford. I think ETSU just had a battle. I think I watched the second half of that game. It was very surprising that they won that game. I didn't think they were going to finish it out. They had to give everything they could, and now they have to play one of the fastest paced teams in the conference. I think they'll be I'm guessing they'll be out of gas late in the game. And also, you just have a significantly better offense in Samford, so it's going to be very tough for them to keep up with them if they're running out of gas and playing a battle like this. So I would take the favorite here in a pretty sizable win. Similar to what Asheville did yesterday, but they were the dogs, right? Well, the other team was the dogs. In this spot, I think the favorite's going to get everything they want.
I just checked. I was going to try to put something together, Samford and James Madison moneyline parlay, but that only gets me to minus 151 on FanDuel. So
add Gonzaga, and I'll bet you it's even money.
I don't want to add Gonzaga. I'll put Samford. I'm not betting this game. I want Samford at 6, 9.5, 10. No way. So community is siding with the Cinderella. 51%, 37% in favor of East Tennessee State. Next up, what are South Dakota State against
St. Thomas, Minnesota?
Oh my God! When does the NBA show start? South Dakota State. South Dakota State against St.
NBA sucks today anyway. You said.
Yeah, it is. It's a really weak NBA.
You don't want to talk Summit League basketball? Come on now.
Hell yeah.
South Dakota State minus 2.5 pass. All right, Scoop. St. Thomas, Minnesota, or South Dakota State.
Some good old Summit League, the coldest conference in America.
Like temperature-wise?
Yeah, temperature-wise. Both of these teams rank pretty high, actually, in terms of their offensive numbers. This one should be really close, I think. South Dakota State won both of their meetings by a combined 6 points. So really, it'd be surprising if this one was anything more than a close one. I'm going to grab the points again with St. Thomas. 8-0 against the spread as an underdog. Raheem Anthony is one of the best shooters in the country, shooting 46% from 3. I think they'll really try to get him involved here. They're the top 2 teams in effective field goal percentage in the league. It should be just a really big offensive game. St. Thomas hasn't been great on the defensive end. That should factor into things, but I mean, they played South Dakota State close both times. They can go toe-to-toe with them offensively, so I'm going to take the points.
All right. One pick on St. Thomas, Minnesota. What's the team name?
The Tommies.
They're the Tommies? They are not the St. Thomas Tommies, Toast.
Yes,
Look
they
it
are.
up, man. Look it up.
Tommies. Tommies. I'm not
It was
lying.
a quick day when they decided their name.
Yeah, for real. How about the
It was
Tommies?
one of those community votes where they
are not the
votes or
Tommies.
something.
I'm actually looking it up just to make sure, but he sounds pretty confident, though.
I mean, I'm literally looking at it on KenPom right now.
It's the Tommies. Oh, my God.
So
Who's in that marketing department?
I know. I like the over, and I like South Dakota State. I like the over more. I think South Dakota State is the much better team. But as far as the over is concerned, Sauce talked about it. Sorry, guys. Sauce talked about it. St. Thomas, the offense, #1 in the conference, effective field goal percentage, efficiency, all that stuff. Not to mention the fact that South Dakota State, both of these teams run on a decent pace, but South Dakota State really likes to run it up fast. And the St. Thomas defense really struggles at times. So when these two teams played earlier in the year, this flew over this number. Hold on, I have it written down. It was like, yeah, one of them was 149. The other one had 160 points here. So both these guys playing on back-to-back days. I'll take my chances with an over.
So you're fading the Tommies.
Yes, I am fading the St. Thomas Tommies.
All right. Andy, are you placing a bet on the Tommies here?
No, I'm also on San Diego State, South Dakota State. I wrote in my notes SDSU, so I'm calling them. South Dakota State. He's right. Faster team, way better on offense. If I'm not mistaken, the Tommies cannot make the tournament, so it is getting to the point where.
Why not?
Because they haven't been in Division Live.
Oh, they're okay.
Yeah, and I mean, last year Merrimack kind of proved that wasn't necessarily a reason to bet against the team because they went and won it and still couldn't go. But I would still side the way better team here. I think San Diego. Jesus, South Dakota State way faster, better offense. That's
call them the Jackrabbits.
The Jackrabbits. It's a weird name game here.
I kind of like what Toast said, and I think the Jackrabbits on the move. Should I bet this one?
Island.
Let Scoop be on his island. I think Scoop's
With
wrong. I think Scoop's wrong on this one. I like the line movement pointing towards South Dakota State. Wow, I'm seeing 3.5 now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I like South Dakota State, but what if we paired South Dakota State money line with
Gonzaga for plus 100?
Yo,
That's
stop! I don't want to bet stupid ass Gonzaga.
I want to Chelsea.
What about
Chelsea comes off
James
40
Madison, Samford, or South Dakota State, Samford? Make something.
Yeah, I bet you that would be decent. Yeah, because South Dakota's like 140-ish, so put them together.
42%, 37%. Community slightly leaning towards South Dakota State, but it's pretty close. Next up. What are Stony Brook?
Stony Brook and Hofstra. Pride.
It's Stony Brook.
Seawolves against the Pride.
Stony Brook versus the Seawolves versus the Pride.
Yep.
Okay. So we got Stony Brook catching 7.5 points.
Good one.
Hofstra minus. Toast, are you
local, man? They're both local.
Are you betting Stony Brook? Toast.
No. Look, I first of all, I'm betting Stony Brook. I'm taking the points. I'm well aware they just played a double overtime game yesterday. I get that. The world knows that, and guess who else knows that, guys? The books know that too. So there's a reason that this line I feel like is staying at 7.5, 8. Our Stony Brook has been one of the best teams, if not the best team against the spread in all of college basketball all season long. Like I said, I understand it's their third game in 3 days, but I have no reason to believe they're not going to keep this one close. People are trying to make it seem like Hofstra didn't play yesterday because they ran through that game, but they still played. So I don't really care. I think Stony Brook has all the confidence in the world. And if you're going to give me 8.5 points with a team that's been consistently covering all year long with the world on the other side, more than happy to take some.
Yeah, why is did you see the line movement at 7 a.m.? This was 5.5.
Yes, so because everybody says, oh, they played double overtime. They can't play well again today. Let's bet the other side.
Oh, Stony Brook played double overtime.
This is a tournament game, too, so it's not like they traveled in between.
That's what I know.
They're literally just going to sleep after the game.
Yeah. They're college kids, too. It's not like they're like going to be – they're not 40-year-old men running.
This isn't LeBron. They're going to play back-to-back. They'll be all right.
Andy, would you take Stony Brook?
Yes, I would. I think this is the type of game where I think if they start hot from 3 early, it'll put them ahead enough that they can't really lose by 8. I think Hofstra's a very bad defensive team against the 3-point. That's pretty much what Stony Brook lives by. So that was my big spot here is I just think the 3-point shot, as long as it falls, and I think it will because they've proven the last few days that it is. So, yeah, I think Stony Brook will get enough early.
All right, 3 picks for Stony Brook. Scoop?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely on Hofstra. Stony Brook just had that double overtime win against Drexel. They're going to be tired. Stony Brook had a nice run, but it's going to be rough to get back up and play an equally challenging game for them. Hofstra just dominated Delaware yesterday, beat Stony Brook twice this season already. Mark obviously looks like it's going the way of Hofstra. The line was 5.5, and it just keeps rising. But Hofstra just has a massive advantage offensively and defensively. When Hofstra isn't playing Charleston or Drexel, their defense is competing with every other CAA team. I know Stony Brook played them hard twice, but that double overtime game is going to take a toll on them. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Tyler Thomas is the leading scorer in the conference, 22 points per game, and he should definitely continue that against a bad Stony Brook defense. I also know Stony Brook has like Minnesota type against the spread numbers, but I expect Hofstra's top 33-point shooting, the pour in buckets against a 224th ranked against a 3.
Ooh, mismatch. That probably scared the shit out of Toast.
No, it didn't.
Almost.
The double overtime did, but not the 3-point.
Yeah, I'm so worried about the double overtime. It's not even funny.
I'm worried about college.
I'm siding with Scoop. I'm going with Hofstra. See, what happened was Stony Brook played a double overtime game yesterday.
I don't think you guys realize that.
I don't know if that's been mentioned.
Guys, in case you guys have not heard, Stony Brook double overtime yesterday. So they're going to be tired. It's going to be a factor.
Probably tired.
I'll side with Scoop.
Probably
I don't
tired.
know. 54%, 39% in favor of 53-39 in favor of Stony Brook. Community is leaning towards the Brook. Do they call them the Brook?
Interesting, because the pie chart.
I know. No, they're the Seawolves.
Brooks.
They're the Seawolves.
All right.
Oh,
Texas
an old
A&M
friend.
Commerce Nicholls. All right. Let's see. I knew it. All right. And this I did the correct Texas A&M this time.
You did.
A&M.
Pretty sure Scoop has a lock in this game.
Yeah? All right, cool. Let's get him up.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, so it's just two really shitty teams here. I'm not going to say. A&M came back against Northwestern State, and Nicholls had that bye yesterday, so they should be rested for this one. In the Southland, I always just figured McNeese is going to run away with this conference. They're obviously probably still going to, but this game's going to be a ton of points. I'm not picking a side. I'm going over here. Both teams are really bad defensively, especially Texas A&M. They've been giving up points like crazy, 80, 70, 75, 85 for their last 5. They can always score a ton of points, like you saw in that last Northwestern game or the Houston Christian game. Nicholls is the same way. They scored 85 plus against this team both times this season. Both games these two played throughout the regular season was 171 and 155 points. So 135 seems really low in my opinion with two bad defenses. And they're both really capable of scoring points, so I'm definitely going over here.
Scoop going with the over. Let's bring up Andy next.
I didn't love this game, but I did side Nicholls. I backed them a few times, and they've done it for me. I have them. I think I picked them to win this conference in my thing. I think they're a very good team. They're much better than A&M Commerce. So I think this is. And I don't agree that they're a terrible team, as Scoop said. They're a good team. They're just not great because Merrimack is so heavily favored in that conference right now. But yeah, I like Nicholls tonight. I think the points is probably they don't expect. Yeah, I think I said something else, but I said Merrimack. Nicholls. Yeah, I think the points is a good point because their defenses are both pretty awful.
All right. A couple people in the comments agree with like Scoop's over. By the way, it seems like other people were taking the over in this one as well. Toast.
Yeah. I was just listening. I was not even talking shit. I wanted to hear what Scoop had to say because that threw me over. I was looking over as well. But I'm just trying to understand this number. I mean, it's so low at 134.
And it dropped. It was 135.5 an hour and a half ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to understand what it is. So it would end up being a pass. I would actually lean under, and I'm not even saying that to talk shit to Scoop. I'm just saying that both these teams run at a very slow pace. Obviously, the defenses are terrible, but A&M Commerce isn't shooting the free throw well either. It just feels very, very weird to me, like the fact that these teams absolutely put up, like Scoops that talked about, 160 points the first time and 155 or whatever the next time, and now this line is 20 points lower and dropping. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I'll tell you what the move is. Give me Texas A&M Commerce, man.
I was just about to say, I think taking the points would probably...
I mean, the line movement, the total's dropping. At 7 a.m., this line was 6. Dropped all the way down to 4.5. You could get 5 or 5.5 now, I believe. But, yeah, I'm betting this one, too. And look at the poll. Everyone's taking Nicholls here. Now, I'm going to bet this, but before I do, I don't know anything about these programs. I'm just betting based on line movement. There's a bit of gambling involved here. But yeah, I'm taking Texas A&M Commerce. I'm taking the points.
I'm also confused about the total. Is somebody hurt that I don't know about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make any
so
sense.
weird.
It makes zero sense to me.
Texas A&M.
Maybe somebody entered the portal that I don't know
And
about.
if Commerce is hurt, and if Commerce is like, let's just say somebody's hurt, they have a very deep bench. They're like 19th in bench minutes, so it's not like if they lose a guy, they're going to be having a short rotation. It's just a weird.
Bet placed.
I'm also glad we helped everyone on this one since we have the over, the under, Texas Commerce, and Nicholls.
Yeah, wow, all four. We have all four covered. All right, let's go to the next game then.
That was awesome. That was worth it just for that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Me neither.
Somebody in the comments put first day of betting in North Carolina, and we get this slate. I promise you it's going. I promise you it's getting better on Wednesday,
sucks, dude.
Wednesday.
So they have underdog there, so they don't have draft.
No, they
just
it's
passed
legal
fourth.
now.
This is the
and
first
you
day
No,
they
I
just
know,
passed
but like I think underdog launched a sports.
Oh yeah,
there or
that's the
something.
only
Oh,
state
yeah.
underdog launched into, I believe.
Okay. Next up, Santa Clara at St. Mary's.
Fuck. Look at those pie charts.
Plus 10. Oh, no, it's 11 now.
11.5 easily.
11.5 now. Holy shit.
My goodness.
Fuck. Whatever.
These odds makers are like, go ahead, Toast. Bet me.
I did.
I
did it twice.
He's like, here's an extra point. Go on.
They gave me 2 more points, and I took them again, too, those bastards.
So Toast is on Santa Clara.
Yep.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah. I'm on Santa Clara here. Line movement is absolutely terrifying, but I really don't care. Santa Clara just played last night. They looked really fine. Here's the thing. I don't think what that we saw against these two teams in the regular season is indicative of what we're going to see tonight. The first game these two teams played, Santa Clara had just beaten Gonzaga. St. Mary's came in and blew the doors off of them. Whatever. The second time these two teams played or laid, Santa Clara figured it out. They didn't turn the ball over as much. And not to mention the fact in that second game, St. Mary's shot 39 freaking free throws. That's not going to happen tonight. St. Mary's is now down Jefferson, who's like probably one of their best defenders. He's a guy that can switch 1 through 5. He's their most athletic guy on the floor. They're probably not going to have Harry Wessels either, who's another guy that's a big bench guy for them. So their defense isn't going to be what it usually is. So I really like the motivation from Santa Clara. They're not one of those teams that is going to be in the NCAA tournament. So if they were to win tonight and then possibly win against Gonzaga, a team they've already beat, they could dancing. So I like the motivation there. So again, the live movement is absolutely terrifying, but I'm more than happy to take the 11 with Santa Clara.
Yeah, the line movement's pretty indicative there. Let's see what Scoop thinks.
I mean, I hate to do it. I'm going to take Santa Clara too.
You bet on St. Mary's a lot this year.
I know. I was just gonna say I made so much money on
did.
St. Mary's this year. I think St. Mary's is a way better team.
Yeah.
And the line movement's insane to take St. Mary's. I mean, the last time they played, they made a bunch of adjustments and only lost by 5 though. Santa Clara. They also shot
39 free throws.
Yeah, they also shot 42% from 3 that game against a very solid defense. I know that first half was terrible, but they also scored 55 in the second half to make it competitive. As long as this team keeps rebounding well like they've been doing and hitting the threes like they did last time, 11 points is really doable, especially on a neutral court. It's not like they're playing at St. Mary's. I mean, they're going to shoot threes. They have the second most 3 points attempted in conference. St. Mary's is better in every way, I have to say, but I think Santa Clara can definitely cover here. Plus 9 points off is approaching bowl territory. I feel like there might be a little rust here, so to start off. So give me Santa Clara.
Also, one other point I just wanted to point out, I forgot that I put it in my notes. St. Mary's does a really good job of being physical because they're usually bigger than everybody. They're 16th in height in the country. They don't have that advantage against Santa Clara. Santa Clara is huge. They're 3rd in the nation in height, so they're not going to be able to push Santa Clara around like they're used to doing with other teams.
The Big Feet says it's the first day of it's the first day of legal betting in Papua New Guinea. We're going off tonight. All right, Andy.
I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna take St. Mary's here. Santa Clara is missing a few depth pieces. Not that completely makes my bet, but it is something when you're in these conference tournaments, you want to have your full complement of players you had the last time you played them. I just think St. Mary's is significantly better, and they want to play Gonzaga again so bad. I mean,
Wait. You're taking Santa Clara or St. Mary's?
No, I said St. Mary's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put up Santa Clara for
Oh,
you.
you're good.
I was
You're
going to say,
good.
like, this sounds like he's making a case for St. Mary's. All right, good.
No, Santa Clara missing depth pieces. St. Mary's is significantly better than them. I don't worry about that. The only thing I'd be worrying about is a look-ahead spot because they know good chance they're playing Gonzaga if they win, and they want them so badly. But I'm not going to worry about that. I think they're just so much better than this team. They've seen them now twice. I mean, the same thing goes to Santa Clara. They've seen them twice too. But I think St. Mary's just, they've been waiting for this spot. So, I'll take it. And I know everybody, the number just keeps going up, but I'll bite.
Also,
Andy, you said they're missing depth pieces. Did
Couple
you mean
depth pieces.
Cafaro and Napper?
Yes,
That's what
guy
someone in the
averages
comments.
6 a game, one averages 4. So
I'll side with Andy.
those guys
And
fill the
points
water
right
bottle.
there.
I mean, they're missing
Yo,
Jefferson,
wait.
Water.
Whoa!
Well,
6 points
Jefferson's
is
a
not.
better player
Hold
than
on, hold on.
College
So
is
now
not.
this might be St. Mary's, James Madison.
I just want to say too, while Sauce is doing that, at what point has St. Mary's ever looked good in Las Vegas? I just want to point that out. In the last 3 or 4 years,
You make a
ever,
good point. You make a good point.
ever.
When you're
This
in
is the
it
best
and
St.
you're a
Mary's team we've ever
mid-major-
seen, Toast.
Mm,
How is it not, dude?
I would say it's
ever.
I mean, that I've ever seen, yeah.
I
Were
don't
they
know,
good in the
2020
'60s? I don't
What
fucking
about I was
know.
going to say, what about the '63 team? You forgot about that.
I would say that I think the 2020 team with Jordan Ford and Fitz and Kuz and Krebs.
how'd
all
their
those
season
guys.
end?
I don't know that
Way
team, but it
better.
sounds like they sound like shit.
Well, it sounds like COVID ended.
So
their
if you do
season,
James
they didn't get
Madison,
to-
It
Mark-
did, but I'm just saying that team was better. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah,
question.
I will.
So if you do James Madison money line, Samford money line, St. Mary's money line, that gets us to minus 105 on FanDuel.
Yeah, Gonzaga's
That
not
must,
losing.
that must be the Andy Dookie play.
That sounds
Don't
yeah.
even. I didn't do one that I
That does.
completely forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot.
So 56% of you is taking Santa Clara. So poll is heavily leaning towards Santa Clara in this one. Next game, Milwaukee at Northern Kentucky. This is such a Scoop game. This is the type of game Scoop gets up for.
I'm really curious to see where he's at right here.
I was making a joke. I don't know if he likes this game.
Oh, I don't know if he does either, but I'm on one side. I know that.
Milwaukee plus 1.5. Northern Kentucky minus 1.5. Scoop, you have the floor. Do you have a move in this game?
I'm going to take Northern Kentucky. Both of these teams are really close in terms of talent, but they're really different in how they approach games. I'm going to grab Northern Kentucky because of their ability to play some defense. Integer is one of the best interior defenders in the country, and he's going to be a factor here. Milwaukee's 316th in defensive efficiency, and even though Kentucky doesn't have dominant scorers, they can definitely find some open looks here. They usually pride themselves on defense, though, just like last year. They're making their way through the league with that. I mean, obviously that didn't show last game against Wright State, since it was a 99-97 game, but it also showed you players like Warwick, who's definitely capable of scoring. He just posted 35 yesterday. Can definitely post 35 again against a shitty Milwaukee defense. Plus, if Milwaukee shoots 28% from 3 like they just did against Green Bay, this game is going to be double-digit win for Northern Kentucky.
I actually liked it.
Green Day.
I don't know shit about these teams, but I actually thought that was a compelling case there for Northern Kentucky by Scoop. But Toast, he did the Toast head shake when
I
he hears
saw
a
him.
pick he doesn't like.
Yeah, just don't like it. It's such a square, coward-like pick. I love Milwaukee here. I really do like Milwaukee here. This Milwaukee team has been fantastic over the last couple weeks, and some of the games that they've lost, they've actually played really good against the better competition. They had 2 losses against Youngstown State. Both of those games were in overtime. They lost a double overtime game to Oakland, and then beating teams like Cleveland State and stuff. And then since that overtime loss to Youngstown State, they beat Purdue, Fort Wayne, Green Bay, IUPUI, Green Bay twice. This team is just absolutely rolling. And if you look on Evan Maya, this team plays better when they're up against higher level competition. I think the world's on Northern Kentucky. I've bet Green Bay both of these games in their tournament so far. I'm going to bet them again here today. I think they're very live here, and I think that line movement tells me everything.
Wait, hold on. Before you go any further, you said you've bet Green Bay. This is different than the other Green Bay that has the GB logo, right? That's 2 different schools.
Yeah.
I said it wrong then. I meant to say I bet Milwaukee.
Well, because I think,
twice
aren't
in a
they
row.
actually Green Bay, Milwaukee? Isn't that like the name of their...
Green Bay has the Green Bay Phoenix.
Yeah, so no. That's a different team. But I think Milwaukee's actually called Green Bay, Milwaukee, technically.
They are, I believe. Yeah.
Right. That's why, like, this shit's crazy. Get a fucking your own name. Like, what the hell?
Well, that's like Texas A&M has 5 of them. So
yeah, UC River 15 guys.
Texas A&M Corpus Commerce.
Flames.
Corpus Commerce is just combining.
Anyway, yeah, I like Milwaukee. They've played good against upper level competition, and yeah, they're playing well right now.
So just disagreeing opinions there. Andy, who do you going to side with?
I'm with Toast here because both teams top 40 in pace and bottom half in turnover. So I think there will be a lot of moving around in this game, a lot of extra possessions for teams. The difference is the inside. I looked at the rim field goal percentage. I mean, Northern Kentucky, do they even have a big man? Like, they're not defending the rim at all, and teams are getting to the rim. So I'm taking Milwaukee because they're very good inside. So I'm just gonna border on that spot, just one spot on the floor where they're just gonna dominate. It can make the difference in a big game like this. So I'm just gonna go Milwaukee. I looked at the shot charts and I was like, the heck, do they even employ a big man?
No. Northern Kentucky has one guy that's like 6'8". His name's Cade Meyer, and he hasn't played in like 2 weeks. Everybody else is like 6'6".
Get a big man, man. I mean,
crazy. They don't have anybody big.
Yeah.
Yo, props to anyone who got that reference from the comments. He said it's actually pronounced Milwaukee, from the old school Chris Farley movie from back in the day. I'm siding with Scoop. I'm not betting it though. Northern Kentucky. I don't know shit.
You said it's Ryan Braun Day.
So he also said Milwaukee basketball team was spotted at Hooters last night. Book a loss. 52%, 33% in favor of North. Yeah, I think they.
There's a lot of them.
Really? Wow.
They're just not as mainstream as they used to be. Like I feel like.
Man,
Denver.
I wasn't paying attention. Sorry.
Denver, Omaha. I put Toast up first for this one, but that's only because he had faded Denver recently. He had a plus money parlay where he had Kansas City, I think, against Denver. Toast, do you have anything for this one?
And I won that, by the way.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, I like the over in this game. I was just writing it up for VIP before we went into this game.
I agree with that.
What's that, Scoop?
I agree with that. That's like
okay. Yeah,
he agrees with it.
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. These teams are all offense, no defense. The Denver is probably the worst defense in the country. I really can't think of a worse defense in the country. And then Nebraska Omaha's in the 300 level as far as defense as well. So the pace is going to be there too. Denver likes to run the pace. They're the fastest team in the conference. And when Omaha plays with teams that they like to run with, they like to have possessions as well. So I think that this game is probably going to have close to, I'm projecting 72 plus possessions. So even if these teams are somewhat decent from the field, this game should go way over.
No, someone said that's Wayne's World. No, that's not Wayne's World. That's hold on, I'll tell you 1 second.
Isn't it Tommy Boy? Wasn't that the name?
No, Almost Heroes. That's Almost Heroes. I literally just Googled Chris Farley movies. I'm pretty sure that's Almost Heroes. All right, sorry about that. Scoop, you said you agree with Toast over?
I do. If anything, I would go over. But both teams are coming off a 1-point win. Denver is actually an incredibly great offensive team. The problem is they're 7th to last in defensive efficiency in the entire country, just above Detroit, Mercy, and IUPUI. In case you're wondering, Holy Cross is the worst in the country. But I'm gonna go with Omaha. I watched one Denver game this season, 111 to 110 win against South Dakota, where they really couldn't stop anything, and that's the worst team in the conference. Denver has the leading scorer in the nation, but the defense is basically a turnstile. Omaha beat them by 21 earlier in the season. They did split the season 1-1, but Frankie Fiddler, which is a great name, he's shown he's one of the best scorers in the conference too, capable of playing some defense on the inside. Like Toe said, both of these teams are going to put up a ton of points, but I'm going to grab the team that at least plays some kind of defense in the conference tournament with Omaha.
Scoop is on Omaha, and I just Googled it while Scoop was talking. It is Wayne's World. I don't know why I had Almost Heroes in my head for that.
Mixing up movie references.
For real.
I was thinking Airheads with
Scoop, look at Denver's starting 5, all their great names. Tommy Berner, DeAndre Craig, Pedro Lopez Sanvesquibi, Tuco Luco.
Yes.
Andy, what would you do here?
Pretty much what Scoop said. If I'm on the over, I wrote down over because the number 154 for teams that literally don't play defense, and it's a conference tournament game, which we always see as close games sometimes, especially in a game where these teams are so similar. I just think the winner is going to get decked in their next game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
the winner's going to get decked?
They're getting decked their next game. So
who would be doing the decking?
I believe this would be the 1 seed. No, this is the 8-9 type
No,
matchup.
you're saying the winner's going to get decked. Who's in this conference? Like, who are you referring
Let me look.
South Dakota State, UNKC, North Dakota.
They're not winning. The point is the winner of this is not winning this conference, and if they do, they're getting decked by a 1 seed. So either way, no. But I would say if I was picking a side, I'd pick Omaha. But I was 100% on the over. I think this game's going to be close, and I think it's going to be a very high scoring because nobody plays defense. So
sure, Omaha sounds good. Let's get to the next game.
Omaha.
The last game.
You've been waiting to do the Gonzaga game.
Oh, here we go. Don's on the road. Or no, I'm sorry, not on the road. This game is in Las Vegas.
Time, a neutral site.
It's a neutral site.
Just like the last time they played.
No, the last time was a home game.
No, it wasn't.
No, they played at a neutral site.
So,
Chase Center debacle.
Andy, true or false? This is smelling suspiciously like a choke spot for the Zags.
I wouldn't phrase it that way. I think it would be a close game. I don't want to fall for it again, but I think I am. I'm gonna take San Francisco to cover.
The Dons.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning the game. Last time I said they were winning the game. I'm not making that mistake again. They're not. Gonzaga's winning tonight. But I think it'll be very close. Similar to what I said with St. Mary's, I could worry about the look ahead spot here because Gonzaga, also a team that knows they're in the tournament, can sometimes look ahead to that. San Francisco needs to win this tournament to get to the tournament, so I think it'll be a close game.
All right, let's go to Toast up next. All right, you know what? Let's let Toast go last because
Let him finish with his team.
Yeah, we know what he's gonna pick.
That's not what you think.
San Fran's 0-4 against Gonzaga and St. Mary's this season. When they play them, they really seem to sell. But I'm gonna have them cover this spread. I feel like most people are just looking at that St. Mary's game and say Gonzaga's back. They're the best team in the West Coast Conference. But the Dons are still one of the best offenses in the conference. They have a ton of 3-point shooters that can shoot. Even though Gonzaga doesn't have a bad defense, you can definitely hit shots on them when they're on. Williams, Mogbo, Thomas are all capable 3-point shooters. They're hitting the second most field goals per game in conference play, third best field goal percentage, second best 2-point percentage. Gonzaga's going to get a ton of points on offense. They're really not that far from the team offensively from last season. But I think San Fran can keep this game close and cover the spread.
Unfortunately, I am on the Zags.
Thank you.
They're playing awesome right now, and I think we can start betting them.
About the Dons.
I think the Gonzaga's playing right now, which the basketball that we thought they'd been playing for all year. So maybe when you're looking at this number based on what we've seen production-wise on the full season, it seems pretty high. But if you remove that month where Gonzaga was just shit, and just look at the spots recently in the beginning of the year, yeah, I think Gonzaga beats them by double digits. So I'm on the Zags, unfortunately. I would love to fade this bum-ass program.
Hey, at least I respect you for going and understanding.
You're on Zags team total over.
I would do Zags team total over or just the over in the game. Either way. But I do think the Zags roll here. Here's the thing. I would wish that I could get there with San Francisco and be kind of sharp because I've been trying to figure out a way to maybe fade Gonzaga because they haven't really came back down to earth yet. But I don't think they're going to. And here's why. You talk about San Francisco and how well they've been playing, but that Jonathan Mambugo kid, or however you say his last name, it always screws me up. He's been an absolute shell of himself. I talked about it when they played Gonzaga the first time. He hasn't played well against good competition. And then since that Gonzaga game, he went to play Santa Clara in 34 minutes. He had 10 points on 4-12 shooting. And then their last game against Portland, the big man only had 9 points in 28 minutes. So he's really not even playing that well. Gonzaga offensively has been absolutely rolling, historic numbers. I just don't see anybody who's going to slow down EK. Zags should absolutely throttle these boys again tonight.
Community's actually split. There's a lot of people betting San Francisco out there. 46%, 42% in favor of Gonzaga. So, yeah, I mean, we could do a community parlay quickly. Let's do a community parlay real quick.
What time are we doing tomorrow?
I don't know. I got to look at it. My concern was getting through the 2 shows today before looking at tomorrow.
I believe the first game tips off at 11:30.
Yeah, but
Davidson.
not
Well,
a
we're
good
not
one.
going to tilt the whole show for one game, but if there's a
Well,
bunch
no,
of day
the
games.
Big 12 starts at 12:30.
Yeah, but they're not good
ACC
games.
at 2.
So, yeah, we got to do a day. We'll do maybe 11 a.m.
Yes, that would probably be the best thing.
Arkansas State, James Madison. Who did they vote? They voted James Madison.
Yeah.
East Tennessee State, Samford. Man, I don't know.
Samford's gonna win.
I'll put Samford money line. I forget what they voted though. It's not like what we think. It's what they
A lot
voted.
of
I
points,
think-
though. That money line is going to be gross.
That hasn't scared the community off in the past.
I mean, it
You're
was,
right, actually.
Not at
Sanford
all.
did not win that poll. East Tennessee did.
Ah, shit.
I just went back and looked. I was trying to get it, but I didn't get it quick enough.
People want to.
Just
There's
don't bet Sanford. 'cause
there's
you
a
didn't bet him.
rumor starting in the chat that Andy is Toast's nephew.
I can promise you it's not true. I can promise you it's not true.
What's funny about that, like, it's because, and what's funny is that my stepkid is redheaded and he has no relation to me. So, Andy, you can be in the family. Just take that stupid crew neck off.
See, hear that, Andy? You could be in the family.
If I take that crew neck off, I've gotten compliments for this crew neck.
I actually like that.
Your
crew neck.
girlfriend doesn't count.
I have.
I was going to say his mother, but
No,
that,
I'll rip Andy for the Georgia fleece, but I like that.
My
crew neck.
girlfriend hates this sweater. I can't wear it around her.
I can't wear it around.
Why?
Does it smell like shit
I
or
don't-
something?
No, it doesn't. She just doesn't like the look of it.
no, it's just the Mets, so that's
like it.
everyone's like, you know.
I'm gonna wear it to a Mets game.
Charleston money line. All right, so we got James Madison and Charleston money line. I'll do because there's not many games we went through. I'll do first and second place from the two polls. So those two are in. Jesus. All right, we got Nicholls money line. Santa Clara, St. Mary's. They voted for Santa Clara, so we'll do Santa Clara plus 11. Milwaukee, Northern Kentucky. I don't even remember.
Northern Kentucky, probably.
Yeah, it was. And then Gonzaga. All right, first and second place are making the community parlay.
James Madison, Charleston. Okay.
Yeah, James Madison money line, Charleston money line are both in.
Charleston. My dad is in Vegas in line. He's like, Zags minus 9.5. I'll be there.
It's up to 9.5 now.
I'm
They
super
always
creepy,
do
by the
in
way.
Vegas.
100% creepy.
You get screwed in Vegas.
Did you say Andy looks creepy?
No, Scoop looks creepy.
Oh.
Andy disappeared. I don't know where Andy went.
Yeah, I guess Andy decided he was done.
We made fun of his Mets thing, and he like bounced.
I've had it. First the Georgia fleece, now the Met shirt.
I'm just not wearing anything.
I'm done. I can't win.
If he comes to the next show shirtless, I'm gonna die.
No, these soundtracks
You would
were the music you hear was produced by somebody who produced them in exchange for a free VIP membership. So all the beats you hear, the thing, someone made them for me, and he gets the free VIP. Whenever I want more music, I hit him up, and he's just on the VIP list. So that's I got a producer.
Mary, I told you it's high noons, man, and like Truly's.
All right, and Gonzaga money line, Nicholls money line.
Gonzaga. Boom. Nicholls.
I'm gonna say
Money line.
plus 249.
Wow, you were really, really close. Plus 245.
And yeah, I almost nailed the NBA one. I was off by 11. So we got James Madison, Charleston, Gonzaga, Nicholls, plus 245. All right. Everyone, thanks for watching. If you're sticking around for NBA, I'm going to hit end stream and then just click on the other link. I'll be back in 8 minutes. It'll be me, Prop Beaver, and Matt Modi. Be back in 8 minutes. Later.
Later, guys.
Someone said